From the rich land of Ottagaville, Alabama.
There's an aquifer beneath our feet that delivers artesian water like this. So you drill down to this certain aquifer, past groundwater, you will puncture this aquifer, and when you puncture it, water come up, just like that. It's hard when people don't see what you see. When God gives you a vision, the vision ain't hard. Keeping it to yourself is hard. Because you want to tell somebody, you want to say, look what I got, look what I got. A couple of my favorite sayings, you're going to hear them say it. When you get people to start repeating what you're saying, that's when you know it's working. One of my favorite sayings is make it happen. You know, Mr. Ford, we out of this, make it happen. Mr. Ford, the truck out of make it happen. And then my next favorite saying is, it's not what happened to you, but how you respond.
Beyond the Water, this Thursday at 7.
So, our artesian well is a free-flowing well that the water comes to the surface without any power. So most wells, you had to pump a lot of wells. You got to put a pump in them, and you had to draw the water. But with an artesian well is pressurized. It's pressurized, and with it being pressurized, once you puncture it, the water just springs to the top, and it never stops flowing. It always flows consistently. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all day. And see, these people right here, this is our Dawson Road Artesian Whale house. People come up here and get this water constantly. Check that out.
Wow.
It runs 24/7, 7 days a week. This is about maybe 10 gallons a minute.
10 gallons a minute.
Free flow. And so people come out here and get water. They come out here and get all type of water. Get this water to do everything. They cook with it, they wash with it, they wash their face with it. It's always cold. Hundreds of diesels around Prattville in the mid 1900s. 400 to be exact, 400 plus. The water is clear, clean. I tested this water before, it's some of the highest quality.
Wow.
Yep.
It looks so clear. That's what was amazing to me.
Yeah.
I was like, it looks so crystal clear.
I know y'all too citified to do what I just did, but it's a I'm about to do it. There's a mark over here to tell you a little bit more about it as well.
Okay.
But the thing about it, if you don't drink it, look how cold it is. Just touch it and see how cold it is.
Oh.
Oh yeah, got great taste.
Wow. Let's try it.
How you doing, sir? Doing well. You from Prattville? How far you come to get water?
Oh my goodness, it's so good.
You from Troy? You came over from Troy?
Oh my goodness, it tastes so good.
Okay, good deal.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Wow. I've never
This group right here from
ever
Texas.
in my life done anything like
So
that.
they haven't seen an artesian well before. How long you been coming up here to get water? Years. So just imagine back in the 1800s when you didn't have water. Everybody had an artesian well. You had a local artesian well that you would go to and do just this right here. In Ottagaville, same way. You're gonna see. We're gonna show you later on this afternoon all the artesian wells that are still running, that people still have artesian wells in their backyard. This area is very unique in Alabama and also in the United States, that there's an aquifer beneath our feet that delivers artesian water like this. So you drill down to this certain aquifer, past groundwater, you will puncture this aquifer, and when you puncture it, water come up.
Mr.
just
Forge,
like that.
can you explain aquifer?
Aquifer is an underground ocean that has been trapped hundreds of thousands of years ago. When we didn't have flood control, when it flooded, a pocket of water got trapped. Okay. And over years, it got trapped again. Every time it flooded, it just trapped. So it builds sediment on top of each other. So this is geology right now. It builds sediment on top of each other. And as it built sediment on top of each other, this pocket of water was trapped. And as it was trapped, it got purified. And over the years, hundreds of years, it became like a solid balloon, an ocean of water beneath the earth. And it's just sitting there. Nothing can get in. Nothing can come from under it. It's just sitting there because it's been concreted by these floods hundreds of years ago.
Wow.
I mean, hundreds of thousands of years ago. Just imagine that. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, water being trapped. You know, we are way above the stratosphere of where we're supposed to be. I'm talking about hundreds of feet down, it was land.
Yeah.
And over the years, all this has just been trapped, floods after flood after flood. But now we don't have that anymore because we got flood control.
Right.
You got rivers now.
Right.
These rivers are continually running because beneath the earth, there's trapped pockets of water. And Otago County has a very unique system where there's a large aquifer beneath our feet at different stratospheres in the earth. And so every time we come here, there's always, we never miss the opportunity of someone getting water, and we always talk to them, ask them had they ever heard of 1186 before. Yeah. You heard of it before?
Yeah, I drank it.
You drank it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So, so where you get it from in Troy? Do you get it from the Piggly Wiggly in Troy?
No, I buy it at Renfro's usually.
Oh yeah, Renfro's in Montgomery?
Chantilly,
Yeah. Chantel is one on McGee Road and one out there in East Chase.
Right.
Yes. What you like about it?
It's good.
Most definitely. Did you know it comes from Otagoville?
Yes.
Well, great.
Bought it.
Oh, right. That's why you bought it. Wow. Thank you for supporting us. A lot of the owners of Artesian Whale, they become a nuisance because they run all the time.
right.
And so just imagine you got one in your backyard and it's running all the time. That's okay when it first starts, but every time you go out every time you go out the back door of your house, you stepping in mud.
Right.
You stepping, and then you got animals, and you got everybody want to come to your house and drink water. And so that's what happened. I'm talking about a lot of people don't talk about it. They capped there. They were like, oh, it was just too much trouble. I just tapped into the city water. They tapped into the
Really?
city water. They just capped it. You go in the back of their house, in the backyard, there's a pipe that got a cap on it. They done threaded the pipe and put a cap on it. So forget about it.
Wow. Such a luxury.
Yeah. You see this right here got threads on it.
Yes.
Okay.
All they gotta do is cap it up, it'll stop running.
You have made such an impactful mark.
Like I said, I try not to even think about it.
Oh my
Try
God.
not.
You know,
If it's a dream, let me just remember the way it was.
well, this dream is igniting. It makes my baby leap. You know, when we were driving down, I was like, I'm in a place in my life where my faith is being stretched.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to come and see the evidence of
It's a
faith.
testimony.
Oh my God.
It's a testimony. You know, I lost a lot of people in my family.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Even the people I shared my home with. I had opposition. Violent opposition. Because it's hard when people don't see what you see. When God gives you a vision, the vision ain't hard. Keeping it to yourself is hard. Because you want to tell somebody. You want to say, look what I got. Look what I got.
Right.
And the first thing they say, you crazy. You ain't gonna make it. You can start getting all these negative transactions. You know, you're not gonna make it. You just need somebody to go with you. You just need somebody to say, hey man, I'll go with you, or hey woman, I'll go with you. You be like, I just need somebody. I went for a long time not telling anybody because I was like, you know, I don't want to be ridiculed.
Right.
So I got to the point I was like, I just go on my own. And then Calvin Brickhouse, y'all gonna meet him in a few minutes. We were sitting at a table and I just asked him, I said, will you go with me? He's like, man, I'm about to retire, man. I'm about to retire in 2 years. I ain't got time for this. I'm finna retire with my second job. And I was just like, I just need somebody that will go with me and don't make fun of me. They'll support me. And he said, let me ask my wife. And so happened the way God set it up. A year earlier, I redid the 20-year wedding vows. They asked me to renew their vows.
Wow.
And they could have got anybody. They only had known me like 3 years, and they asked me to renew their vows. And his wife said, Marquis a good fella, I like him.
Yes.
Make you laugh, I like being around him. If we're gonna put our life on hold and dedicate our life to something, I think this will be a great opportunity.
Wow.
And I had somebody that was there with me. You know, everywhere I went, he went. Everywhere he went, I went. And And more importantly, it was just somebody to lean on. You know, that's what needed. Jesus sent the disciples out how? Two by two.
Absolutely. Awesome, remarkable story. Thank you so much for sharing your history with us.
Yes. And that's just one of about 4 or 5 in the area. There's one over here by the gas station that flows. I think it flows heavier than that one.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it flows. But people don't want to go to it because here's the thing: perception is everything. And the one over here by the gas station is just on the backside of the gas station. It just flowing into a pipe, flowing into the sewer, coming out to the creek. And people just go out there and I'm talking, it fills up so fast, bam. That one might be flowing 20 gallons a minute. It flows pretty good. But now FDA they won't certify that well. That when you're drinking from that well, you're drinking at your own risk. And what I mean by that, there's nothing wrong with the water. I've been drinking from that well all my life. We all been drinking from it. But what I'm saying is, you can't monetize that water because it's not from a secure source. And what I mean by that is, we out there getting that water now in the daytime. At 4 o'clock in the morning, who else out there? Birds, raccoons. You know, they may not come out there, but it's a possibility. More than likely, they're gonna go down to the creek. They ain't gonna go under that pavilion because there's so much human traffic in there. But it's not secure. Anybody can come there. You can't pollute the water, but if you have any doubt from an FDA standpoint, you cannot do it. So that's the reason why that water cannot be sold. You know, you come and get it at your own risk, and you drink it at your own risk. No, back in 1800, you'd be fighting to have that. You'd be fighting. Matter of fact, you'd be rich. To have a water supply like that, because that well is several hundred feet deep. That pipe is several hundred feet deep. It's at least between 400 to 500 feet deep. So somebody put a lot of energy and time into digging that artesian well. If you dig it down by 40 feet, you'll get regular groundwater. You know, groundwater can be contaminated. But this water is inside an aquifer that is protected, so it's not gonna be contaminated. That water ain't got no filter on it or anything. It comes out crystal clear.
That was so amazing.
Yeah.
So earlier you talked about the aquifer. It's like an underground river, or is it
It's an underground ocean.
ocean?
It's an underground ocean. It ain't running. It's an underground ocean. It is trapped water underground.
Traffic.
So it's like taking a balloon, filling it with water, placing it on the ground, and then putting mud all around it. And the mud hardened. Put more mud on it, harden, put more mud on it, harden, and all of a sudden, the mud start compacting the balloon, and it got pressure and want to release the pressure, but it ain't got nowhere to go. So here you are, you come in, you know, 1,000, 100,000 years later, and you drill a hole down, and bam, you hit it, and it shoot the water back up out of it. Same way with oil, a Toggerville straight ahead. I love seeing that sign because it's all the way about Toggerville. That's probably the only signs that we have that got a Toggerville on it. But you know, it's just a spot in the road. Matter of fact, y'all both came through it last night. All of y'all came through a Toggerville last night. Same way about oil. Oil is old firms and plant that been trapped hundreds of millions of years ago. They've been trapped underground. They laid down on top of each other. These huge firms. And what happened is the firm. How can I put it? They decomposed. They decomposed and made oil. And over years, that oil became liquid. And the earth on top of it kept on getting heavier and heavier, and it pressurized it. So now when they dig for oil, when they hit an oil pocket, that oil pocket is a group of firms that has liquefied hundreds of millions of years ago. Hundreds of millions of years ago, these firms got laid down by flood. And they started decomposing, and they made organic matter. This organic matter is oil. Well, the same thing happened with water. Same thing. This water was probably a body of water that got trapped into one area and got covered with mud and made this secure aquifer underground that is now pressurized. All you gotta do is tap it, and boom, you're there.
You said it's replenished by the rain.
It's replenished, and that's another thing about an aquifer. So every time that it rains, there's hundreds of thousands of years where the water is being filtered through the different layers in the earth. And when we pour a gallon out, there's initially a gallon going back in because the earth is filtering it. So you have pure water that's being filtered. The water can go in, but nothing else can go in because of the molecule H2O. So let's say a chemical or something like that, it can't get in because the molecule is too advanced. So that's the science behind it. And that's why it's been so protected over the many of years. But what separates Prattville from Otagoville is this plateau right here. We're driving, there's a plateau that surrounds Otagoville. And as you can see, we're gonna get to go up this hill, and when we get to the top of the hill, you'll be able to see off into Otagoville. Otagoville is an 8 square mile town that is surrounded by a plateau that has been geologically formed by a glacier hundreds of million years ago. So the filtering process of the water going back into the earth is different on Otagoville than anywhere else. In Otago County, the word Otago is an Indian derived word, which is Ataga, A-T-A-G-I. There was a group of Indians here, the Alabama Indians, that it was a subgroup here called Ataga. And the Ataga, they named themselves Ataga because Ataga meant pure water. Because the abundance of water was available in Otagoville. Abundance of water. So the name of the Indian group they call this area Ataga. And so when it was translated to Otaga, they put vowels in it. And the word initially is an Indian derived word that means pure water.
So Otagoville is like a hidden gem.
Yeah, it's like the Ville of pure water. If you want to put a definition on it. The village where the pure water is located. This is the future of Otagoville. This is how Otagoville is going to look, buildings are going to look in the future. And our job is to revitalize Otagoville, is to bring Otagoville back online. And I don't think you could ever in life get an opportunity to bring a town into a city. That's what we're doing. And everybody that partnership with us, that's what we're doing. So we're going to show you guys exactly what God has done for us. And all the hype, find out if it's real or not. During the process of building the foundation, when we got to lay the concrete, we was laying the concrete. They had just got through finished laying the concrete, and the Spirit spoke to me, go get a nail. I went and got a nail, and Ezekiel 47, 1 through 12 came in. Ezekiel 47, 1 through 12. I'll paraphrase, I won't read it all, but I'll paraphrase it. The angel took the Son of Man, which is Ezekiel, to the east side of the temple. And out of the east side of the temple was flowing water. And the angel measured out 1,000 cubits and brought Ezekiel through the water. The water came up to his ankles. He brought him through the water another 1,000 cubic feet, and the water came up to his knees. He measured out another 1,000 cubic feet, and it came up to his waist. He measured out another 1,000 cubic feet, and the water was so deep they had to swim in it. So Ezekiel, the angel took Ezekiel, son of man, back to the banks of the river. And he said, Son of man, where this river goes, the land is a blessing. There's trees planted on both sides that yields fruit and leaves where you can have food and medicine always. But where this river does not go is a desolate. There's a desert, there's swamp, there's marshes. So for us here at 1186 M-Rain Industries, if we continue to measure our life out in God, the blessing will be so deep that we have to swim in it. And wherever we go, we'll be a blessing to the land, wherever we go. Also Luke chapter 1 and 37, A couple different versions, but all things are made possible through God. And this is for everybody that visit me. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, chapter 9 through 15. Paul says that he's a wise master builder, along with Jesus and the prophets as the chief cornerstone. Be careful how you build on this foundation. Make sure you choose superior building material, because your work will be tested. And if your work is inferior material, you will be consumed by fire, and only you'll be left over. So we always tell people, be careful how you come in here and work. Be careful what you add to this, because your work gonna be tested. So that's coming across the floor. How we doing, Miss Brittany? So here we are. This is 4,000 square feet. The building is 22,500 square feet. And so we have 4,000 square feet of office space. It's not 100% utilized because all our work is out on the floor. So we have production, which is supply, and we have executive, which is demand. So we're gonna look at the production side first. Everything that you see up here, we did ourselves, okay? We put in the drop ceiling, we painted, we put the molding in. We didn't do the floor. One of our partners, they did the floors from Kentucky, but we laid the carpet, put the blinds up, we made desks. We couldn't afford this stuff, so you have to do what you can do. This right here behind you gonna be a future gift shop and material room. This over here is a future copy and mail room. This right here is one of our supervisors and one of our team office where we actually built this desk. This is one of the desks that we built in-house. And you'll see several more throughout the building that we build stuff in-house. Come on down. This is our COO, Calvin Brickhouse, partner in crime. This is where, he make all his executive decision for the production team, the whole 9 yards. Do not talk about that. You don't get him upset about them Cowboys, boy. He will disown you. You talk about them Cowboys. Yeah, he'll be here in a little bit. It's one thing to have a vision, but it's another thing to get people to believe in the vision that God have given you. So there's things on here that we say all the time: throw me to the wolves, and I return leading the pack. When somebody throw you away, hey, don't worry about it. They throw you away to be eaten by the wolves, but you know what? We return leading the pack. Lack of dedication insult those that believe in you. I believe in you, so if you ain't got no dedication, you insulting me. And not just me believe in you, there's a lot of people believe in you. So make sure you have a high level of dedication. This is not $1 million company, this is $1 billion company. Discipline. Do what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. These 3 negatives I can't deal with. I put this up yesterday. Don't lie to me. No false documentation. Do not sow a discord. Anything else, I can deal with. You're a murderer, I can help you. You're a drunk, I can help you. You're, whatever. Don't do these 3. Don't do these 3. We talk about record. They ran 113,000 bottles one day. That's a record for them. They run about 12,000 bottles per hour right now. The machine can run 14,400. We don't need to run it wide open.
Per hour.
Per hour. Bottles per hour. And so we talk about different stuff that we need working on, quality management system manual, failure mode, effect analysis, 5S manual, promotion manual. Where are we? Where are we? And then also on the board, we got communications, different communications. Every day when we break, we have a word of the month. The word of the month for January is perseverance. Giving your best effort regardless of the obstacles and rejection. So at the end of the day, perseverance on 3. 1, 2, 3, perseverance. And so we do that because we want to ground that into their character. These are character traits. Hey, we know everybody going through something. Everybody going through something. I don't care. If you live and you're going through something. So we give them this to let them know, hey, we're going to get through it. And a couple of my favorite sayings, you're going to hear them say it. When you get people to start repeating what you're saying, that's when you know it's working. One of my favorite sayings is make it happen. Mr. Ford, we out of this. Make it happen. Mr. Ford, the truck out of make it happen. And then my next favorite saying is, it's not what happened to you, but how you respond. Yeah. At the end of the day, I give a speech. And if I don't give a speech, they're like, what's wrong with a speech? Speech. I was like, And also, when I'm upset, I don't talk. They be like, oh, what did we do? Mr. Calvin, what did we do? Oh, y'all pissed him off. Y'all pissed him off. He ain't talking, y'all pissed him off. So now we're on the executive side of the building. This is one of our favorite areas. And we got some of the team in here. Miss Kenya, how we doing this morning? Miss Jennifer, Mr. John. This is the sales team. They in here doing some training. This is Miss Mona. This is Miss Kasha. This is Mr. Kevin. And you guys have met Miss Brittany earlier. But this is our conference room. This is where we come and, I ain't gonna say celebrate, but you don't want to be in here on a meeting on my side. But a lot of times we come and do a lot of training. The biggest thing in here for us is this right here. This is an old sign that Mr. John gifted to us. This is Bud, King of Beers. When we started this, we didn't have no distributor. We didn't know how we were gonna get the water out. Everybody would come to me, like, hey, so who's gonna be your distributor? I said, man, I ain't even got that for. What you talking about? I was thinking about just getting a box truck and drive water around. Look how small my mind was. So John, and we had got another team member that's up in Connecticut. Her name is Chrissy. And they was like, they are godsends. John right here and Chrissy out of Connecticut. John is the sales manager. Chrissy is the chief marketing officer. She worked with Avion for 20 years. She was she helped bring Avion from France to Connecticut. So she was like, Marquise, we would talk 6-7 hours a day, every day on the phone, every day. We had a conversation from 2016, every day, 7 days a week. She was just downloading. Do you need this? You need that? You need this? And I'm like, man, what I got myself into? And she would just talk. And she was like, we got to get a distributor. And I was like, we can buy a box truck. She was like, you can't move millions of bottles with no box truck. What are you talking about? And so finally it came to the table one day. They were like, let's talk to Budweiser. I said, hold up. This is a God company. This is a faith-based company. We ain't finna be talking to no beer company. He was like, oh no, oh my goodness, you don't understand. Budweiser is a distributor. They distribute products. And so April the 27th, 2018, they had a Budweiser truck back to our door as the first pickup, even though we didn't put anything on it. But they had it back to our door and was part of the grand opening ceremony. And so that sign to us is very special. The water that is bottled in Autauga County as 1186 water is the official state water of Alabama. That's what that piece of paper says. In a nutshell, that's what two of them paragraphs down there say. So think about it. Alabama coming from a long ways. Come from plantations and cotton fields to the official state water of Alabama. We're talking about, we sit on the same shelf as the official tree, which is a pine tree, the official flower, which is a camellia, the official bird, which is a yellowhammer bird, and the official water is 1186. Okay, all right. Last October, we also received a certificate and award from Governor Kay Ivey. She chose 12 small businesses across Alabama as the initial small business initiative to showcase how great small businesses are and important to Alabama. 1186 was one of those businesses. Out of Alabama, she chose 12, 1186 was one of them. And we're not gonna talk about the different proclamations. We got many proclamations from different cities. Proclamation from Houston states that August the 3rd, 2019, that August the 3rd every year is considered 1186 Real Artesian Water Day, every year. So they didn't have anything else to do, just 7.2 million people in Alabama, in Houston. It's only 5.9 million people in Alabama. And this city didn't have anything else to do but to give us a proclamation stating that August the 3rd is 1186 Real Artesian Water Day. Last year in May, we had Alabama Living Magazine, which is a huge magazine, an old magazine that does all the co-ops, electrical co-ops. And they did a huge article about 1186. If that's not big enough, the Birmingham News and AL.com back in August of last year, they came down and stayed a whole day and did a complete, full-blown, articles on us. This is liquid gold. That's what they said. This is liquid gold. And like I said, we do a lot of different other things. some other important things that we have over here is on our charts over here in 2018 to show where we come from. We need about 750,000 bottles a month to like break even. 750,000. Put your mind around that per month. That's about 9 million bottles a year. In 2018 total, we only produced and sold 632,000 bottles. The whole year. Now, I'm gonna tell you, in that year, I became very familiar with the Alabama Power cutoff man, the water cutoff man. I knew them personally. When they drove up, they come and get me and say, hey, Alabama Power was out there in the white truck. I said, I gotta go talk to them. Tell them I need a couple more days. 2019, we went from 632,000 to 2.5 million. Still not enough, still 5 million short. Well, no, 6.5 million short. But we was in the right trend. We haven't put the numbers up, but right behind you on the first one's supposed to be 2020. 2020, we went from 2.5 million to 7.1 million. Close. 2020 was the first year I didn't have to dump my bank account to pay payroll. Every month. 2020 was the first year that I didn't have to hide my wife's truck from getting repossessed. It was the first year. And in 2021, last year, we went from 7.1 million. Last year, we popped out at 13.1 million. Not too bad. Not too bad.